Alright everybody, welcome back. Today's video is just going to be a pretty short one talking about the godly weapon enchantment called Vorpal. Vorpal is the enchantment that everyone says you need. It's one of the most expensive ones right now, and that's because it's pretty good. So today we're going to talk about why it's so good, what it's good for, why you should buy one, the prices on PC versus a console, and if there's any potential nerfs or what they should do about it considering it's so strong. So firstly, let's talk about why it's actually so good. So other weapon enchantments, they give you a flat percent base damage bonus as another type of damage, right? So Holy Avenger, for example, gives, I think, 5% bonus damage as radiant damage at its maximum rank. And all the enchantments have this base damage bonus. It's their additional effects that make them unique from each other. However, the rest of the weapon enchantments don't really have anything that makes them very good, for the most part. They're all just kind of meh. Like armor enchantments, for example, they all have their unique quirks, they all have their individual uses, and all of them are pretty good in different situations. Yes, I've even seen people use Briar Twine and make it work. Vorpal, on the other hand, has this base damage bonus, just like all the other ones, but its additional effect is so good in comparison just because it gives you so much more damage than the rest. What Vorpal does is gives you additional critical severity on your attacks. And this applies to your at-wills, your encounters, and your dailies, so everything. So what this means is, when you crit, you will do even more damage than if you had just crit normally. So it's like critting, but critting again. It's like a double crit almost, because the maximum rank of Vorpal gives you 50% additional critical severity, and that's why it's good. But it doesn't just apply to damage. Healers should have a Vorpal enchantment too, and that's because heals can crit the same way that damage can crit, and having a critical heal can be the difference between in life or death of somebody in your group. So Vorpal's pretty much good for everybody except for maybe tanks. For tanks, I'd probably go for something like Bronzewood, because Bronzewood allows your party to do, I think, like 9 or 10% more damage to whatever the enemy is, and that applies to all of them, so it's like a buff of sorts. And since the tank is always taunting and attacking stuff, it's able to apply this mark, which Bronzewood applies a mark that allows you to do the bonus damage, so they're always applying this mark every 20 seconds, and it lasts for 10 seconds, so it's basically every 10 seconds you have this 10% bonus damage, which is shorter than some of the cooldowns of the encounter powers in Mod 16, so yeah. Anyway, I got pretty off topic, so let's talk about the price of Vorpal, and it's pretty expensive. On PC, the rank 13 Vorpal is 6 mil right now, and on Xbox it is about 5.7 mil as of a couple days ago when I asked somebody to check for me. I don't know about PS4, nobody came through for me on that regard, but I would imagine that the number is similar, and it's interesting that the prices are so similar already, even though Mod 16 hasn't gone live yet. They must have listened to what's been going on PC and made their buying decisions already. So I'm curious to see if the price on the consoles goes up even higher, since they had a much larger informational window to buy this stuff before it went live. So I wonder if it's actually going to get higher than PC. I'm not sure about that. I don't know much about how the console economy works, but I am interested to see if that happens. Now, there was a rumor floating around that Vorpal was going to be nerfed, like that it wasn't going to proc on heal over time or damage over time anymore, and I have no actual information on this. I'm not going to say, oh, it's true, or oh, it's not true, but if that were to happen, it would make Warlocks even less useful, I would say. Warlocks in particular, because their healing is based off of heal over time, the majority of it, and not being able to crit on those heal over times that are already pretty small, and not getting that extra critical severity makes them even smaller, and so it makes them even less useful as a healer, and Warlocks are pretty much regarded as the least useful healer at the moment. Now, Cleric would be hurt by this as well, because they have Healing Word and stuff, but not as heavily as Warlock. And then, of course, you have Warlock damage, which is basically completely based on damage over time as well, so they would be impacted too. Now, like I said, I don't know if that's actually going to be a thing or not, so take that with a grain of salt, but my opinion on this is that Vorpal shouldn't really be nerfed, but I think the other enchantments should be brought up closer to the level of Vorpal in terms of usefulness. Because, like I said in the beginning, Vorpal is just infinitely better than the rest. The other ones are just not worth using for the most part. They're just kind of meh. Like, they have some unique effects, like Holy Avenger heals and increases the defenses. I think that one's pretty nice, but if you compare it to something like Vorpal, it doesn't really do very much. What I think there should be a weapon enchantment or two that impacts healers far more than another class. Like, for example, like how Vorpal increases the critical severity. There should be a weapon enchantment for healers that increases the outgoing healing by X% every 10 seconds or something like that. That might be a bad idea because Vorpal in comparison would still be better, but I'm trying here, guys, I'm trying. I just think that the other weapon enchantments should be made to be more useful in individual situations, the same way that armor enchantments can be useful depending on what class you are, what you're doing, and stuff like that. So that's all I really wanted to say today. Thanks for listening to me talk about one specific weapon enchantment for like 6 minutes. I am proud of you if you got this far. If you did get this far, leave your opinion in the comments what you think about Vorpal, if they should change it at all, if they should change other weapon enchantments, and how they should do so, if you have any ideas about that. And also, I just want to give a quick little update that the videos this month are not going to be as frequent as in previous months. That's why I haven't released a calendar yet. My job gets pretty busy in June and July, so I really have no clue when I will be able to make videos, because I don't know when I'm working until I'm working, basically. Like, I might know a day or two in advance how late I'm working, but most of the time I don't, because things come in at the last minute and I have to get them done, make sure they're ready to go and all that jazz. Okay, yeah, nobody cares about my personal life, so I'll shut up now. So yeah, I'll do what I can. I know you guys really want build videos, and I'm gonna try. I have a whole list of things I want to get done in June, and I can read off a couple of them to you because why not? So I want to make a video about how I would fix the Zen market first and foremost. I have a bunch of ideas for that, and I think it would be a good video. Also want to talk about the summer promotional items, if they're worth it or not, and I really want to do a video about which class you should play to help you decide on a class. I actually recorded this the other day, but I hated how it turned out, so I want to do it again. But there's that. Another thing I want to talk about is why Paladin is so good. It might be obvious to some of you, but some people just don't know, and it would be nice to make it clear to everybody and just say, hey, Paladin's good, you should play a Paladin. And there's some other stuff, but I'm going to leave those secrets for now. If you have any opinion on which one you want me to do first, let me know in the comments too. And that's that. I'll shut up now. Have a good day or night or whatever. It's like midnight here, so yeah. I hope you have a really good lunch tomorrow. That's my motivational advice for you. And now I'll see you later. Bye.